You can earn this limited time exclusive emblem during the Guardian Games event by coming to my live stream at twitch.tv/Mactics and gifting a sub anytime I'm live playing Destiny 2. I'll see you there after the video. Enjoy. Welcome back to another episode of Will It Build, where today I am so excited to show you a Void Hunter setup utilizing an exotic weapon and an exotic armor piece that I have never seen in any PvE build ever before. This build, called Phantom Cinders, submitted by Chockles, promises that you'll be able to completely cover the entire battlefield with toxic fumes, generate bountiful orbs, and become the assassin swiftly striking one foe to another in silence. Before we get started with the build, though, we have two orders of business. First things first, I want to thank Golden Arrow for sending this bad boy right here to the PO box. I have it linked in the description below. If anyone else has anything cool that they want to send that we can use to decorate the background of the stream. Number two is that we are, of course, going to do some emblem giveaways with this Will It build. Two specifically, you know the drill. One of them will be given away to a random commenter down below who says something nice, likes the video, and is subscribed to the channel. And then the other one is hidden somewhere in this Will It build video. So just keep your eyes peeled. If you're the first one to find it and redeem it, then it's all yours. So for this build, we're first going to start on the subclass, specifically with the brand new Void aspect on the Prowl, where entering invisibility is going to mark a nearby target as a priority target, and if you defeat that target, that is going to create a weakening cloud of smoke, and if you step into that smoke, or if any allies do as well, then they will of course turn invisible, which conveniently will allow you to then again mark a new target for the usage of on the Prowl. Furthermore, whenever you defeat one of these priority targets, you and all of your nearby allies are going to gain increased weapon reload speed and stability, and you're all going to get a boost to your grenade, melee, and class ability energy. But first, we need to figure out how we're going invisible in the first place, which is going to take us to our second aspect, Stylish Executioner, which of course you all know very well. Defeating any void debuff target, so anything that is weakened, suppressed, or volatile, is going to grant us invisibility, and then of course proc our on the Prowl. But how are we going to apply void debuffs to targets so that we can make use of Stylish Executioner? Well, we have a couple ways with the Hunter subclass and a couple of ways with our weapons. The main option that we're probably going to take advantage of to initiate this loop is simply going to be our Snare Bomb melee. Anytime we hit a target with this, it weakens it, easy peasy. Option number two is we are going to utilize Void weaponry that has perks that can apply void debuffs to enemies, specifically things with the stabilizing rounds that has recently received a massive buff. I have mine here on the Recluse, but can get it on many weapons such as the Word of Crota. You can get it on a lot of other void hand cannons, the Title SMG from Guardian Games, tons of ways to get and take advantage of destabilizing rounds, which is another way that we'll be able to initiate our loop by applying volatile rounds to enemies and entering into invisibility through Stylish Executioner to then get our on the Prowl procs. Coming back to our subclass screen, when we look at our void fragments, the three core fragments to this build that they recommended is going to be the Echo of Starvation, where anytime we pick up a void breach or an orb of power, we receive Devour, which of course means that on every single kill we get a 100 HP heal and a boost to our grenade energy. They also highly recommend we take Echo of Harvest so that anytime we defeat weakened targets, we are going to be creating an orb of power and a void breach, which is not going to be too infrequent because that smoke cloud from on the Prowl that is created whenever we defeat that priority target, that is going to be a weakening cloud of smoke, meaning that all nearby allies are going to be weakened by it. They're going to take bonus damage, and we'll be able to kill them to proc Echo of Harvest. Then there's our Orb of Power and Void Breach to proc Echo of Starvation. The final core fragment is going to be Echo of Persistence, so that any void buffs we have to us, namely Devour and Invisibility in this instance, or if you have a void weapon that has Repulsor Brace, then you get the Overshield mileage as well. Those are going to have increased duration. For our other two fragment slots, they said that you can basically go whatever you want. If you would like to, you could utilize something like the Echo of Undermining in one of these two slots to make it so that you have yet another source of weakening in your void grenade. Me personally, I want to try not using Echo of Undermining to start to see if I feel like I have enough ways to weaken targets to initiate my loop without utilizing Undermining. So what I'm going to be going with here is going to be the Echo of Obscurity, which is going to be another way that we can go into invisibility to initiate our loop. Anytime we get a finisher on an enemy, that of course is going to make us invisible. And then finally, we have the Echo of Reprisal, where final blows when surrounded are going to give us bonus super energy. And the main reason I care a lot about bonus super energy is you might notice here that we are going with the Spectral Blades Super, which is not commonly used in PvE, but we love Spectral Blades here for a couple of reasons. One is because it's doing an absolutely ludicrous amount of damage right now. It's just a very spectacular super currently in PvE, surprisingly. I never thought I'd say that sentence. But two is because the exotic armor piece that we're going with for this build is going to be the Gwizzin Vest, which also recently received a ton of buffs. Gwizzin Vest is still retaining its original trait, where every Spectral Blades hit or final blow that we make before we go invisible with the heavy attack will restore more of our super energy, so we get longer lasting Spectral Blade supers, but it actually has a new added benefit as well, where anytime we exit invisibility while we're near a target, we're going to create a weakening cloud of smoke around us, similar to that we create from the on the prowl aspect. And what's really interesting about this exotic trait with Gwizzin Vest is that the author of the build said that this weakening cloud of smoke counts as melee damage. And the reason that's super important is because of our exotic weapon choice for this build, the Bastion. And you might be thinking, why do I care about those counting as melee damage for Bastion? Well, I just learned something brand new today while filming this video. What I learned is that apparently Bastion got a rework a little bit ago, where now, after a successful melee hit, this weapon gains increased damage, reduced charge time, and improved reload speed. How much increased damage specifically, you might be wondering? Well, if we come over here to the Destiny Data Compendium and we look at it specifically, we get 45% increased damage to Bastion, which means that if we deal melee damage to an enemy, which supposedly the Gwizzin Vest smoke clouds from exiting invisibility count as melee damage, if we do melee damage, boom, we get 45% increased damage for almost 9 seconds on Bastion. Furthermore, if you land approximately 18 of the 21 total pellets in a burst, for those who don't recall, Bastion is a 3-round burst fusion rifle. Each burst shoots 7 pellets. If you land approximately 18 of those, you actually also get increased melee damage as well for the next 3 seconds, which should theoretically apply to the smoke clouds that are created from Gwizzin Vest. So we kind of work harmoniously together to have increased melee damage that is going to provide increased weapon damage to Bastion, which is then going to apply increased melee damage, and back and forth and back and forth. Now, sometimes you need to take your games on the go, and there is no better device for that than this video's sponsor, the Red Magic Nova gaming tablet. It boasts incredible gaming power thanks to its advanced Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, DDR5 memory, and a 144Hz refresh rate. You might think a device like this in such a small and light form factor would get hot, but with its advanced cooling system, that's no problem. It features a 20,000 RPM turbo fan and 9 layers of heat dissipation, enhancing performance and reliability while also reducing noise. And all of this works together to provide you a beautiful 2.8K resolution picture on a 10.9-inch screen, built in with an SGS eye care feature to help reduce eye strain during long periods of use. All of this in a lightweight all-metal design weighing just 530 grams, powered by a 10,100 mAh battery, and you're set to game anytime, anywhere. You can purchase yours right now using the link in the description below, so you can enjoy all of your favorite games on the go. Thanks to the Red Magic Nova gaming tablet for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the build. In this episode, with something like particle reconstruction, Bastion being a fusion rifle is going to benefit significantly from this artifact mod. It's not going to be required for the build to work long term, even when these artifact mods are gone, but it just makes them feel a lot nicer. Now, heading over to the armor mods, on the helmet, we are leaning into the fact that we're going to be dealing a lot of melee damage, so they have a setup with hands-on so that we get bonus super energy on melee kills, in conjunction with a heavy ammo finder and a harmonic siphon so that our void weapons are going to generate orbs of power as well. Down on the chest, and I am skipping gloves for a reason at the current moment, they recommend a concussive dampener in conjunction with resistances of your choice. Down on the boots, we're going with an absolution mod, an orbs of restoration mod, and a harmonic scavenger so that heavy ammo brick pickups are going to give us a lot more ammo. This obviously is assuming that you're using a void heavy ammo weapon. And down on the class item, they have us with Reaper, utility kickstart, and bomber. And what's most interesting about this build to me, though, is that on the gloves, they have us set up with triple heavy-handed, which at base, having one heavy-handed mod on means that every 10 seconds, a powered melee final blow can generate an orb of power for you. If you equip a second one, you can generate that orb of power off of a powered melee final blow every 5 seconds, and with 3 copies, you can do it every 1 second. Now, I am a little bit skeptical of this because I can't really imagine that we're going to be doing so much melee damage with the smoke clouds from Quizinvest that we're going to be generating orbs of power every single second, or at least every 1 to 4 seconds to justify needing 3 copies of this. But I'm really excited to go and test it right now and see if it does indeed have that capabilities. But first things first, I want to test to 100% without a shadow of a doubt, make sure that the weakening cloud from Quizinvest does indeed count as melee damage. So before we actually put this build to the test in high-end content, like a Master Lost Sector, we're gonna go ahead and just make sure that they are indeed correct, that it does count as melee damage. All right, so to test if this actually works the way it says that it works, we're just gonna get an enemy weak and get a finisher to go invisible through Echo of Obscurity. And then when we exit invisibility, it's gonna make the smoke cloud. And this should create orbs of power when these goblins die. And so one of those orbs of power came from the Echo of Harvest, and that's why we have that Void Breach hanging out over there as well, which means I think that the other one did indeed come from the smoke cloud made from Quizinvest. I just want to double check to make sure, though. We're going to try it one more time. So if I exit invisibility next to these fellas, there's 1 orb. There's 2 orbs. 1 is from Harvest. And then if I go again, oh my god. And what's crazy is, too, the smoke cloud that's weakening the enemies and killing them counts as killing a void debuffed enemy, which means it's going to proc Stylish Executioner, which means it's going to make you invisible, so you can run next to a new enemy and go out of invisibility next to the new enemy, which is going to make a new smoke cloud. Wait, this is so funny. You don't even have to actually shoot at the enemies. You can just run right next to them, go out of invis, let the smoke cloud get one of them, then you're back into invis, and then you go back. Wait, that's so funny. If we land all of the bursts on Bastion, oh, well, that guy died too quickly to actually test it. But theoretically, if we land all the bursts on Bastion, then that's going to increase the damage of the smoke cloud, because it's definitely counting as melee damage without a shadow of a doubt. Oh, they cooked on it. I think as well, if I'm not mistaken, I think Spectral Blade's kills also count as melee final blows. Which means we just made 6 orbs of power, and we're making 1 orb of power for every single... Oh my god. Let's go take it into that Lost Sector. Let's go take it into that Lost Sector right now. And I want to clarify as well, that's without utilizing any artifact mods whatsoever. We don't have any of like the void-based, volatile, weakening, anything like that. We don't have anything, none of the artifact mods on right now. We don't even have particle reconstruction on right now. What we're currently using is the evergreen version of this build. This version of the build that we're currently using is going to last forever. All right, remember, when we get the final blow on that enemy, we get our destabilizing round, so we get volatile, and that's how we can initiate our loop. And then we're going to stun this fella right here. That might have been without the 45% damage bonus, to be completely honest. Okay, we got our volatile rounds. Boom, now we're invis. Not really any high priority targets to nuke at the current moment. There's our stylish proccing, and we have our devour up as well. And so I think we always want to make sure to be next to an enemy when we drop the smoke cloud, so that we weaken them with the smoke cloud, so that when we kill them, it re-procs stylish. So like when I get next to this guy, I want to make sure. And what's awesome too, I'm noticing, is the smoke cloud, like the enemies don't fight back when they have a smoke cloud on them. Like watch this. If I do this to do the smoke cloud, see how he's like covering his face? So we're not really in a risky position. Like look, they can't fight. They're blinded. Another reason I love this build, I'm just now noticing too, the biggest critique of so many invis builds, invis hunter builds, is always like, oh yeah, well that's great, you're invis, I guess, but then all you're doing is leaving your other 2 teammates to get aggroed by everything else, and then they get destroyed because nothing's aggroing you. But you have on the prowl So you're making smoke clouds for them. I want to go invis on this guy and then blast him with Bastion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a stun on him, and I'm going to smoke bomb this guy to weaken him, kill him, so I go invis through stylish. And then when I exit invis, I do the smoke cloud on him, so there's the melee damage. And then pop, 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 and pop, pop, pop. And now I'm invis again, so now I can run over here, exit invisibility. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. But I'll do my smoke grenade right there, kill him, hit my gambler's dodge to get my smoke grenade back so I can reinitiate my loop if need be. And then we'll pull up next to this guy, smoke cloud. Boom. Invis. Pick up all this stuff. Get my devour. Dodge again to get my smoke bomb back. Back invis. Oh, hold up. So, the way this works, too, with Gwizzin is if I kill a bunch of these guys, and then I go invis, I get a stupid amount of my spectral energy back. Hey. Oh, and then we're invis again. Oh, what's the matter, buddy? You run into my smoke cloud? Oh, I got a little too cocky there. Is that the Lost Sector boss? Okay, I want to kill all the goblins so that they're not immuning the boss. Okay. I just had a thought. I should probably be doing a 3-round burst of Bastion before I start taking out the Lost Sector boss. Because then I would theoretically, I'd get the melee damage bonus from hitting the 3 Bastion shots, right? All right, it's time for the how fast does my super comeback test. Not that fast. Not as fast as I would have liked. A suppressor grenade isn't a terrible idea either, because that allows me to debuff an enemy to initiate Stylish Executioner to start my loop without having to do Echo of Undermining. That being said, though, I don't really feel like my grenade needs to do that. Like, I feel like I'm already chilling when it comes to ways to initiate the loop, so I don't think I need to do that. I definitely want Vortex Grenade here. I like Vortex Grenade. I like that angle. I'm thinking if I go to my mods, I really feel like I don't need the utility kickstart that much, to be completely honest. I think I would rather swap it for like a powerful attraction, so I have a really easy time scooping up all these orbs I'm making from the triple heavy-handed, which I do like, by the way. It's definitely working. I also want to see how this feels when I do start implementing the artifact stuff. So if you go like Volatile Marksman, Maligned Harvest, and then Void Flux, along with Particle Reconstruction. Particle Reconstruction is the one I'm really wanting to see. So we're gonna hop back in here. Instead of doing it on expert difficulty, we're gonna do it on master difficulty. Okay, so step 1, weaken. Now we have our Devour and we're in our loop. And then we'll exit Smoke Cloud. Nice. They're a little juicier now. Dude, I love how methodical this is. It's extremely rhythmic. It's the word I want to use. I wouldn't hate to have something like Echo of Undermining on. I think Echo of Undermining definitely has some areas where you can justify using it. I love how you're just kind of getting the smoke clouds going. So what I did right there was I put the smoke cloud next to this guy so I could make it so that he wouldn't be shooting at me, and I procced him up with weakens so I would be ready to kill him to go back into invis, and then I dealt with the other 2 enemies that were further away while I had my weakened source ready to go. So like right now, so this guy's not going to hit me because he's in my smoke cloud. And so I'll deal with the far away targets, and then when I'm done dealing with the far away targets, then I can kill him to go invisible. I don't really see how you die on this build if you're just patient and you keep your rhythm, to be completely honest. I'm also curious, if I exit invisibility, there might just be like a cooldown or something like that on the Gwizinvest smoke clouds that I'm just not aware of. Let me go invis here, hit a dodge. Oh, yeah, and then we'll pull up a little bit. Yeah, dude, with the Bastion. So you run up to a high priority target while you're invis, and then start charging up the Bastion, which takes you out of invisibility to drop the smoke cloud. And then you barrel stuff them with the Bastion, 45% damage buff, plus they're weakened, so you go back into invis. And so here's where we're gonna, this is like where we're gonna be really methodical, right? So I'm gonna barrel stuff this guy, kill him, back into invis, and then I wanna kill this dude. Ow. I wanna get my Devour to refresh a little bit. See, I don't understand why I didn't make a smoke cloud when exiting invisibility right there to kill that Scion. That's what I'm kind of confused about. Aha. Incurs a 5-second cooldown between activations. The good old internal cooldown. Honestly, with the way this build is going, I might like the idea of taking a kinetic scavenger over the harmonic scavenger just because of how much I'm using Bastion. Although I am definitely playing in a manner which I'm like kind of trying to really lean into the Bastion power fantasy. So maybe in actual gameplay, you would use your heavy ammo weapon a little bit more often, but I don't know. All right, let's get active. Leave me be! This is like the tankiest lost sector boss in the game as well, no? If I'm not mistaken. One of them, at least, for sure. Oh, look at that super energy go. The super energy is flowing. And we have our spectral back, and we'll go boom. And hit that. And GG. Yeah, that is an extremely fun assassin themed that really lives up to the thematic. There's an extremely fun assassin build that is actually true to its name in style, appearance, theme, gameplay. All of it. That's a well drummed up build. So will it build? Absolutely yes, without a doubt. An extremely fun build. It's a little slower than maybe other builds where you're kind of sprinting through everything and being extremely flashy and whatnot. But the rhythm of it, like you really genuinely feel like you're playing a different video game. You feel like you're playing like a stealth assassin, blink around the map and, you know, spawn behind everything and, you know, put the dagger like right into their, you know, chest from behind them and stuff like it. It's so cool. So absolutely will build. Absolutely the winner of 1,000 silver. Absolutely spectacular. And if you have a build that you also think is absolutely spectacular that you want featured in one of these videos and that you want the entire world to see, please be sure to submit it in my Will It Build channel, linked in the description down below. And if you want to catch the next episode, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future builds. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.